Coverage of the tornado that hit Edgecombe and Nash counties continues right now at 4:30. We have WRAL's Ashley Rowe live in Rocky Mount.
Ashley, you have the president of the Chamber of Commerce with you to talk about the impact of this tornado, but I can see just around you all of the damage there.
Lena, Chris, we just got here about 5-10 minutes ago, and one thing, we hear about tornadoes and just how much damage they can do to one area and then just spare an area neighboring. But when you drive by and you see homes that are completely damaged, completely torn apart, next to homes that have been untouched, you just think, oh, your heart goes out to those folks where just today was not their day. I mean, take a look behind me. You see this home here completely ripped apart. Surrounding it, the trees are all down, splintered completely in half. And then your heart's really going to break as you go over to this area on the other side of the road. There's one family that owns a few properties around here, and they are just coming to terms with what has happened. You can see they're just surveying the damage. They've got little kiddos. You can only imagine how they are explaining this to their little ones and just trying to salvage what they can at this time, because one of these homes has no walls anymore, no roof. I mean, frankly, it's not a home, it's just pure debris. This house over here, it's getting tarped up right now with the roof, but it looks like one half of the house is also completely devastated. The trees are down as well. I want to bring in David Ferris. He is the president of the Chamber of Commerce for Rocky Mount. And thank you so much for joining us here. I know it's been quite a wild day for you.
It has been a wild afternoon, and this is just devastating, and our hearts, our thoughts, our prayers go out to the families that have lost homes like we're looking out here at the Barnhills, and businesses, and of course Pfizer being our largest employer, and they're such a global provider of health care. The devastation out there, thankfully we understand there's been a minimum of injuries and no reported fatalities as of yet. And that's the important thing. I watched Mr. Barnhill on WRAL earlier today, and all he talked about was, this can be replaced. These are just things. Yeah. And the most important thing we have are our friends, our neighbors, and our families. And when you look at this, it's just God looked after us.
Yeah, it really is just amazing to know that folks are okay, as you said, the number one resource. When you think about, coming from your position with the Chamber of Commerce, and you just think about the economic impact to this and the efforts to rebuild, I know that we are all just starting to process this, but where does your mind go in that regard?
Well, first again, it goes back to the families that are affected directly by this. We're all affected, certainly, but they are. I'm going to go home to a home tonight. They're not. I'm going to go back to my office, and you have Pfizer situation. So from that standpoint, it'll get rebuilt. It'll take time. Of course, the families that have to go through this, or it's reminiscent when Floyd hit us back in 1999, and the devastation here was widespread. This is a resilient community, and Dorchester is certainly resilient, but Rocky Mount, Nash, Edgecombe, we're resilient, and we'll come back. We will absolutely come back. I can guarantee you that.
As a proud booster of this community, as somebody who roots for this community and vouches for this community and the economic growth of this community, when you see these images, what goes through your mind?
Well, the heartbreak of it again, and then there will be an economic price to pay for it. But we'll move beyond that. Yeah. I mean, we'll move beyond that. You're going to have a lot of construction going on, maybe more jobs created because of that, industry coming in, federal dollars for assistance coming in. Yeah. But, that's not how you want to expand.
No kidding. Well, thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you.
You speak about the jobs that are created in an awful way. I just want to quickly touch on some of the work that you guys are doing. Patrick and Jeremy, thank you for joining us here. Real quick, just tell us about what you're doing. You are trying to help these families here.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We're going to get tarps put on the roof, so try to prevent rain from coming inside, because the insurance company is going to be busy till they can come look at it. And we have a shop in Spring Hope, and we have an office on Nash Street in Wilson. We're a local company into phone books, Google, however you can advertise Blair Maintenance. And we just, we went to Lowe's and bought all the tarps they had, because we're just going to try to help people, because if it rains, it's going to create more damage in their house. And try to get them covered up and waterproofed in.
How many phone calls and texts have you been getting for help?
Every steady for the last 2 or 3 hours.
What's it been like for you from your perspective?
It's been very busy and stuff. Just hope everybody's safe, and everything can be repaired when it comes to the house, but
Yeah.
want to make sure everybody's safe, and then we can get their house taken care of.
Okay.
And definitely use a local insurance company.
Yeah.
I mean, reputable company.
Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. WRAL's Aaron Thomas found more damage. He is on North Old Carriage Road, joining us live. Aaron?
Yeah, Ashley, I just heard you talk about some of those split trees across parts of Nash and Edgecombe County. Let's actually go over here at this home on this road. You can see this split tree branch. We're seeing a lot of this on parts of this road. I'm actually holding a piece of debris that's scattered all over this home. You can see that it's clearly a team effort of folks trying to get everything cleaned up, everything from the front and even the backyard of this home. They've made significant progress since we've been here. Actually, when we first arrived, we saw a large tree branch on top of this home, but it has since been removed. And then as we get a little bit closer, there are broken windows. That shows you the sheer impact of this storm that moved through part of this area. You now hear the sounds of different leaf blowers and chainsaws that are going as people work to get everything cleaned up. We did have a chance to speak with the son of the homeowners here, and he describes exactly what he arrived to. Take a listen. What was your first reaction?
Honest with you, I was like, oh no, because where my sister was, that's most important. And then I was thinking, how am I going to get back there, and what's it look like back there? I saw the broken windows, and I was just kind of worried, honest with you.
Yeah, and it had to be pretty scary. And you can now see the gentleman that we interviewed. He is still hard at work cleaning with several crews here, trying to get part of this driveway cleared. As you can see, it's completely covered with a lot of tree branches and everything that has fallen here. And as you did hear him describe, there were people inside this home at the time. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but certainly this is an example of the teamwork and effort it's going to take as this community works to rebuild.
Oh my gosh, you could totally empathize with that deep sigh when he arrived at his home and saw all the trees down there. Glad no one was hurt who was inside that home, though. Aaron Thomas reporting live for us. Thanks so much.